I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've been waiting all day to get home to react to this. All right. Woo! Oh, I gotta make sure I have the audio set up. Okay, okay, let's go. It didn't start. Okay, let's start it. Hon. It's like he detached it from the turret. I thought it was the Wonderwall from BO4 for a second. The Shatsa. Oh my god. Oh! Nikolai! Kick him off, gang. Kick him off. Oh! Good shit, Maya. Or Park. I said Maya. That's so stupid to me. Good job, Park. And this is the teaser from yesterday. Don't tell me. Yes! I knew that was gonna happen! I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Damn, Tessie looks banged up. Bro took the wheel with him!
Everybody, remember where we parked.
Oh my god. Yeah, and then put Noah's no. No. No, don't go to Noah's video, go back. Bro, that end part. Remember where we parked.
Remember where we parked.
That shit's funny. I'm wondering if you look at Tessie here, does she? Nah, she doesn't have the rockets on her. I was just wondering. Oh my god. Bro, that was such a good intro cinematic. I don't even know what to say, where to start. Let's start with the entity spitting us out. Literally spitting us out of ashes. And just all of these Ravagers following us on what looks like... I want to get like a good still frame of one of those rocks. Because that like kind of looks like 115. I don't think it is. I just want to like get a good look. That looks a lot like 115, bro. This looks a lot like the 115 on Origins, not the green one. Or sorry, not the green one on Origins, the blue one on Shionuma. It looks like 115. I like what appears to be like Saturn in the back almost. Is that Saturn? Yeah, the ring, bro. I wonder if we'll get any Shangri-La references. I know it's not Mars, but that would be really funny if we did. And this is the map on top of a skull, so the lake was right months ago. Even with the stupid purple head that it showed us a purple Roblox head. And that was clearly the entity. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say. This is just so awesome. The music, just everything about this cutscene. And I'm sorry that I said Maya earlier, but when Park saves Nikolai, that's like gives her a bit of more character growth because she's kind of been the best way to put it, she's kind of been like sidelined in this story. All of Bo6, she kind of just was there compared to Carver, Weaver, and Maya. Park was just there. So I like that they're trying to give her a bit more. What's the word to put it? Like, I don't know, character growth. They're giving her more, I guess more relatability might be a good word. Bro, I gotta just say right now, how did they not fall out of the back? They're holding on for dear life. I hope we get to maybe the boss fight's like in the mouth of the skull or something. Like that would be really cool to have the boss fight either here or have the boss fight on Saturn, maybe on the rings of Saturn itself. I don't know. Might be asking for too much. This is sick, and apparently this is an asteroid, a skull-shaped asteroid. So I wonder why, because it almost looks like it has like little, almost like a crown of barbed wire, like the way it's like sticking out around the map. Man, I want to see that final end shot of the map. This is just so cool. The little weather vane. Trying to see if there's anything else notable here, but I don't think there really is. This is just so cool. I don't know what to say. I'm actually just speechless. This cutscene was just so good. I don't know what to say. Am I having it? I do. I just...
Remember where we parked.
I really don't know what to say. It's just so awesome. Ooh, one thing I do want to see. Where's Dempsey? Because the turret isn't here anymore. Did Dempsey take it with him? He didn't take it with him. Did the turret fall off during the cutscene? Or did, like, Dempsey drop it? I just want to see, because he has the turret here. I think he still has it here. He doesn't have it here. So, did it get knocked off when they hit the asteroid? Did the turret get knocked off when that happened? Because that would make sense if Dempsey dropped the turret when that happened. No, he still has it. So when does he lose the turret? I know this might sound like such a stupid thing to worry about, but... Does he drop the Wonderwolf turret? Because it appears that Tessie doesn't have it. And I don't think we get another real, like, good angle of the front. Oh wait, was he holding it there? I don't say, it's just... I just want to know if we're going to have the Wonderwolf turret on top of Tessie or not, and I don't think we will, given... Oh, was it there for a second? One split second. Damn it, I'm sorry. I just really want to see. I don't think we're going to be able to see with the smoke. Smoke doesn't clear up. I don't... Okay, he still has it right there. Then the explosion happens. He still has it while we're heading here. And he still has it while we enter the skull. When we crash down and land here, the turret's gone. Right? Yeah, the turret's just gone. I don't know. I wonder, is Tessie even going to be usable in this map? Because, like, he just took the wheel.
Remember where we parked.
I just... Some questions. Minor questions given that cinematic, but... Amazing. It's absolutely amazing cutscene. I don't even know what to say. I did see the comments saying it gives a bit of a Gorod vibe. This was part of the plan, Richtofen. Not exactly. It just... It does give a bit of Gorod vibes. A bit. I want to see if anyone else says anything. Yeah, it's actually funny. The only two zombies that aren't violent get hit. Wow. Wait, what? I gotta see that. What? I didn't notice that! Oh, I go back! I didn't even notice that! Why is it scrolling down when I go back? Hold on. Bro, over here. He just hops off! Why does it go off focus? He hops off and like chops his Ravager and then does he get back on? When does he get back on? And then he hops back on? Oh my god, yo, that's crazy. Why is no one talking about that? And then just, oh my god. This is such a good intro cinematic. I don't even know what to say. They like really. I liked Ashes, don't get me wrong. It was very cinematic, but it was definitely lacking music. This is giving great vibes. Amazing vibes, and the music fits perfectly. They even make Tessie look all broken down, like with the doors and everything that hit the zombies. It's just like they've really put the attention to detail in for this. This is just so awesome. I love the little pun, remember where we
Remember
parked.
where we parked.
It's a great. And then Tessie turns off. I didn't even notice. This is just. I can't wait for the. I feel like this map is going to be so. What's the word? I don't know if atmospheric is even a word. Like, the atmosphere on this map is going to be just amazing. The one thing BO6 was lacking besides on the tomb was atmosphere. This map has I can already tell is going to have a lot of atmosphere with them. You know what? The skybox kind of reminds me of Die Rise with the floating rocks. That's going to be so cool. I can't wait. This is a really good cutscene. I don't even know what to say, literally. It's just such a good cutscene. There's like everything about it. I can't even point out like one singular thing. It's just everything from start to end is amazing. Everything. All of it. And the fact that they like it might be like a stupid little feature, but them remembering that that door got hit at the start so that at the end it's like dented in like this, I appreciate those little details. I know it might not seem like a
Ready?
big deal in any way, but I love it when they pay attention to every little detail in this. I'm only just wondering where's the front? Like, where's the abomination heads? Why would that be taken off here? Like, it would have been cool to see maybe the beam attack be used in this cutscene, but that's not like a complaint. It's just something I kind of wish happened because there's no reason it should be this unupgraded version of Tessie with just the Wonderwaff, unless that's possible in Ashes. I don't think anyone's ever tried to get the Wonderwaff turret before putting on the Abomination head, but if that's possible, then I have no complaints for this. I don't even know what to say. I'm just so astonished. Like, this is just insane. I'm sorry I'm kind of dragging this video on, but like, I'm just amazed. Like, even a floating hand here, floating leg, like, it's just so many details in even just this one frame. It's so awesome. Even there's a floating Ravager up here. Like, Treyarch did so good with this cutscene. It's not even funny. The ton just eating. Oh my god, it's so good. And they're just chilling, and they know it's clipped. They just shrug it off, like, well, it was gonna happen. Such a good cutscene. I'm not gonna drag this on any longer. I'm in love. I'm in love to finally have something just. BO7 Zombies feels so much better than BO6, not just gameplay wise, but story wise. It's feeling a lot less lackluster and feeling a lot more like they're genuinely caring about where the story goes. And that's not just because we have the quote unquote original crew back. Um, it's just really, it's just better. I don't know how to describe it. Like, BO6's story was a bit stale. It still had its moments, don't get me wrong, but it was just a bit stale. This just feels like they care about all 8 characters and really giving them each a foot in this new story. Oh my god, I love the Ashes mid and end cutscene. Those were just peak, absolutely amazing, just so good. But this just feels like a great step forward and a step up. This feels really good. I don't know what to say. I'm genuinely shocked right now that it's this good. 15 minutes, man. It's just, oh my god. I don't want to draw this video on for 15 minutes, but I'm just so unbelievably happy with the direction that Zombies is going after after the year we had for BO6, because the only boss besides Citadel's boss is genuinely hard, and I appreciate that. But the Kraken was too easy. Liberty Falls, I get that that was a map for casuals. I'm not going to complain about that boss fight. It was just a map for casuals while we had Terminus, which was in comparison harder. But in actuality, if we're going to compare Treyarch boss fights, none of this compares to stuff like Ancient Evil or even Horizon Track or Revelations, which isn't even like a really crazy boss fight. It's just unique. Citadel and probably Reckoning for the Richtofen fight are the hardest fights we've gotten in Modern Zombies. The absolute hardest fights we've ever gotten in Modern Zombies would have to be like the Modern Warfare Z and Cold War fights for Outbreak and MWZ. Those were insanely hard, and I appreciate them making those bosses insanely hard, which is why I'm a little bit disappointed that they're nerfing the boss in Ashes. I'm a little disappointed with that. I think they could have just buffed Tessie. Even if it was just in the boss buff, they could have just buffed Tessie. I appreciate the missile buff, or sorry, the missile nerf because it was going off way too fast. It would be like a second after you see the red on the ground, you would get hit. I do think that was a fair nerf, and I'm happy that they're not nerfing the wipe beam attack. It's still going to be just the same. I appreciate that. I almost hope that they change it so the boss doesn't drive in front of you when the immunity comes out. Like, you know how the boss will fly in front of you and it'll block the immunity on the ground? I kind of wish that was. Part of me wishes that was nerfed, but I understand why they did that, and the boss is meant to be really hard. And this feels like the first boss fight since Dead of the Night or Ancient Evil that I'm genuinely feeling like is hard. Even Tag's boss fight was hard, and even though it wasn't a real boss fight, it's hard to stay alive in that circle if you don't have the Helion Salvo with PhD. It is genuinely hard to survive Tag's boss fight. It took me 8 years. I know that sounds crazy. I mean, it's been man, not 8 years, sorry, 7. Because like I only beat Tag about a month ago, and I've been trying since BO4 came out. Genuinely hard boss fight, but man, Ashes being genuinely hard, I love it. And this cutscene, it just embodies BO7 so well in comparison to BO6. It's it's like night and day. It feels like BO6 was a placeholder until BO7 came out. And that while we were just getting somewhat slop for BO6, we were getting this banger. I'm hoping the map's as good as this cutscene, but Ashes has been amazing. I'm loving it. Loving grinding for the relics no matter how hard they've been. It's been amazing. And I just I want to thank Treyarch for almost like flipping a switch with BO7 to BO6. Like they seem to genuinely have listened to the community and gave us a bunch of stuff, like quality of life changes even, because this game looks just like BO6 minus the graphic upgrade, but the gameplay itself feels so much better and so much smoother, especially with the new augments. I have to thank you, Treyarch. Thank you so much for adding the Wisp T augment that watches the last zombie. As a solo player, it has made all of the difference when doing these eggs. It's made such a huge difference to not have to worry about killing the last zombie while I do things. I can just leave the last zombie in spawn or farm and then go everywhere else around the map and start doing the rituals and relics. It's just so helpful. Thank you for that quality of life change. It's been literally game changing. Um I don't know what to really say. I don't want to drag this on any longer, but I just wanted to point out how much different BO7 feels to BO6 despite looking exactly the same. From a viewing point, you're not going to notice how different it is. When you're playing the game, it just feels so much better. It feels so much smoother than BO6. Everything feels really balanced. The weapons are all usable and good. There's more of an incentive to hit the box given that the salvage for upgrading your weapons costs more. There's so many different ways to get ether tools now, including from the box. It's just this game just feels so much better, and I have to thank them for it because it blows my mind how much better and different BO7 is to BO6. And even Cold War, if you want to go back and compare. Because I'm not going to lie, BO6 in some ways felt like a step down from Cold War, but in a lot of ways it felt like a step up. This feels like a major step up from BO6. This feels amazing. Just straight up amazing. I'm speechless on this cutscene, and I'm speechless from just how good BO7 has been in general for the first map. And I know BO6 felt the same way with Terminus. Like the first two maps felt really good, and then it kind of just started going down from there. Like they didn't care as much. I personally love Reckoning. I loved Shattered Veil when it came out, but I don't think I would play the map again now. The one thing they did in Shattered that I'm really hoping they do for the rest of these maps is really connect the story to the map itself and also give us ways to understand the map location story, if that makes sense. Because Shattered had us meeting three different ghosts that used to live in the mansion. And learning about their story really gave the mansion a lot more atmosphere and ambience. It just felt so much nicer on Shattered. Reckoning didn't have much of that, given it was just kind of the big end of BO6 to set up this game. But Treyarch, you've done an amazing job. This cutscene, amazing. So far, BO7 has been amazing. I'm excited to see what new relics you guys add in for season one. I don't know much else to say because this, like, well, it does give Go Rod vibes, like everyone's been saying. This almost feels like its own thing. Like, I can't think of a trailer besides Go Rod that gives similar vibes to this. The little joking puns, the the little like sorry, like the little pun here, the joke, just the details on Tessie, everything just feels so good. And to mention, like, while I'm on the topic of BO7 and Ashes, Dempsey's side Easter egg is so amazing and great for the story. And my only question about it is his story from prior to Tag der Toten? Or is there actually still a multiverse out there that these characters were pulled from for the Warden's sake to take their essence? Because the entity says something along the lines of the Warden sensed you all had something special in your essence. She said something about how we all have something special in our essence because of the Sentinel artifact. But that's what confuses me is what do those four characters have to do with the Sentinel artifact unless it's because we're using part of Richtofen's DNA to bring back his family? That could be fair enough, I guess, for his character. But they explain Dempsey's version, like Dempsey became a disciple and he became the host for the disciple. He has this ravenous evil still just buried inside of him. It's still a part of him. And that's what the Warden wants to take. He wants to suck off that energy. Pause. He wants to suck out that energy that is just. It's just the story is going in such a good direction. I love the way that they're telling it in the map with the individual side eggs. I'm hoping this map and the rest of the maps each have stuff like that for Tachyon, Nikolai, and Richtofen, because that will be huge if we can have story info from each individual character and why those other three, Tachyon, Nikolai, and Richtofen, have extra like special essence that the Warden wants, because we know why our Requiem crew has it. It's from the Sentinel artifact, BO4, all that. Don't have to get into the chaos story and how crazy it is that that's somehow canon now, but I'm really surprised with Ashes and with this cutscene. I'm really surprised with how BO7 has started. I'm praying to God the rest of this game has something good in it. And then I was going to say they haven't given us a date for season one. I was hoping that was in the description. It's been leaked to be December 19th, but something just tells me it's going to be closer to like the 11th or 12th. I don't feel like it's going to be that close to Christmas. But Treyarch, you've done a great job with this cutscene and with Ashes of the Damned. You've done so good with all the cursed relics. everything. This game feels like there was genuine care and thought put into not just the story, but the gameplay. It feels so much better than BO6. While it looks a lot like BO6, it feels so much better. And while I hated it at first, I don't mind the PhD slider augment being nerfed. I hated it when I was playing at first, but I understand how OP that would be, especially for a map like Ashes. You'd just be able to outrun everything in the fog. It would not even be a challenge. I just have to thank them because this is just, bro, this is just amazing. Like, just everything about this cutscene is amazing. Everything about Ashes has been amazing. I genuinely don't have any complaints about Ashes of the Damned. Minus the crashing bugs that they have around the 30s and 40s. Besides that, the game's been great. If they can just iron out the minor bugs that they have on Ashes, it's gonna be perfect. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm loving BO7 so far. I'm literally about to hop on the game and start grinding for the relics on round 40. But Treyarch, thank you. Straight up, just thank you. This feels like this has BO3 cutscene vibes, and it's something I have been missing. Just thank you guys for this cutscene. Thank you guys for BO7. Thank you for Ashes. Thank you for caring and listening to the players finally, because no offense to saying finally, but it really didn't feel like you guys used to care about the players. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, like, zombies was just being pushed to the side while Warzone and multiplayer were being prioritized. Now it really feels like you guys have pushed up zombies and put it back in the front. I just want to quickly see, in the 20 minutes that this has been taking, how many views have they gotten more in the trailer? Okay, it doesn't. I guess I don't. I don't know. It didn't say a difference. I might be blind, but I've seen this go up 200. When I clicked on this, it was 9.4K. Now it's 9.9K. People are watching this and loving it just like I am, and the comments go to show it. No one is complaining. Straight up, no one is complaining. Look at this. No one is complaining. No one's complaining. And this is something that if you went onto Ashes and look at their intro cutscene, you'd see stuff like Battlefield 6 is this, Battlefield 6 that. No one's complaining. Everyone loves this cutscene. And I'm loving it. We are so back as facts. We are so unbelievably back. And might I add, like the comments said, which one was it? Not this one. Kickstart My Heart. Great song. Great song to pick for this cutscene, and it fits perfectly with everything that's going on in the cutscene when you stop and start it. So good. Even Dead Ops in this game is amazing. Having the original Black Ops 1 soundtrack in the background of Dead Ops has made such a difference compared to BO3 and Cold War's Dead Ops. I'm speechless. I know I just spoke for how long now? I just spoke for 28 minutes. I've been speaking for 30 minutes, but I'm just going on a rant about how I'm loving BO7, and that's something that I haven't been able to do since BO4. Treyarch, genuinely thank you guys so much because this is just, it's been such a good year. And I don't mean literally like year, I mean like game year, specifically BO7. It's been such a good game year, even though it's only been a few weeks. I have a lot of faith for the future of this game, as long as it doesn't go the way BO6 went, with like the maps just like slowly going downhill and then rising back up after the tomb. I really have a lot of faith in this game being good. And I really hope, I really hope that no this game just doesn't go down the path BO6 went. I hope it stays on this path of, how do I even word it? This path of just, I want to say just like this path of caring, but it feels like they care so much more, excuse me, than they did with BO6. It's just like there's genuine care put behind this map and this game in general. Just thank you, Treyarch. I know I've said it so many times, but thank you guys for making this game so good. It's just so good gameplay and story wise. It really feels like the story is ramping back up to where I would love for it to be. I have so many theories that I may tackle in another video because it's been a half hour, but I'm in love. I'm just in love with this game, and I'm not looking at any of the leaks because I heard that most of the story's been leaked. All I saw was the leaks of this big head and a skull, and here we are. However many months later, we're here, and it's actually happening. I don't know what to say. I am speechless. Thank you, Treyarch. Just the story finally ramping back up to where I want it to be means so much to me. Zombies is just such a big part of my life and what I do every day. Even if I'm not posting every day, this is a huge part of my life, always has been. Kevin's music, Alina, Maluka, Clark, don't forget Brian Toohey, all of those, just everyone at Treyarch making this game, making Call of Duty, making zombies. It's been such a big part of my life since I was like 11 or 12, and I'm 22 now. This is just so good to see the game getting back to the point where I want it to be. I straight up just love Bo7. Thank you, Treyarch, for making this game. Because you could have easily just put it with Bo6, and I don't think it would have not felt like its own thing. I love that this is its own thing, and it can be viewed separately from Bo6 despite its similarities of how close the games look in gameplay, but they just feel so much different, and this game feels so much better, even especially high rounding. I think the beta had a huge, what's the word? Impact. The beta had a huge impact on how high rounds are playing right now. All I can say is thank you, Treyarch, because this is just so good. It just feels so good to be back. Zombies is so back, and it feels so fucking good. I'm sorry for the language, but I am so happy that Zombies is back to the point where it should have been. It just this game. Zombies hasn't felt this way in so long. It hasn't felt like this. And I love every iteration of zombies, including World War II. Before the before the DLC maps, the first two maps were great. Groston House and Final Reich were great. Advanced Warfare, I loved Exo Zombies, Infinite Warfare, loved every map, loved Infinite Warfare zombies. BO7 is getting a lot of hate, and I think multiplayer and campaign deserve the hate, but zombies is not. It feels like they're really prioritizing zombies. And please, Treyarch, when Warzone comes out, don't prioritize Warzone over zombies. Please keep zombies at the forefront as it should be. It should be carrying this game as it is. And I don't mean it should be carrying. The multiplayer and campaign should have had more care put into it. But I don't want Warzone to be carrying Call of Duty. I don't want Warzone to be the forefront of Call of Duty. And this is from someone that loves Warzone. I love Warzone. I play the Battle Royale every time it comes out. I play Ranked. I love Warzone. But I don't like multiplayer and zombies, and mainly zombies being like overtaken with Warzone features. It should be its own thing. It should look unique. This is unique. This right here, even this image alone, no relation to Warzone. No relation. And I like that. And I understand people are upset. Me involved too. I am also upset that there's no way to remove armor and cursed. But I understand with how the health system works right now, it would not be possible to remove armor without making the game unplayable. It would literally be unplayable. The game would just be too hard. It would be unplayable past even round 10 or 11. And that's why I really appreciate the relics being added for golden armor, because I have golden armor right now, and I really appreciate them adding that in. Even though it costs 45k points on top of the armor itself, it just, thank you, Treyarch, straight up. Thank you guys so much for caring about the community and genuinely giving us something that we can enjoy. Because BO6 had a lot of pros and cons, but it had more cons than pros. This game has way more pros than cons, from what I'm feeling. My only con right now is not understanding whether the characters come from dimensions prior to Tagged or Toten, which wouldn't make any sense because the Dark Aether entities didn't even know the Aether existed until after Tag when we banished all the stuff from our Ether story into there. That's when they realized, oh, hey, there's a whole nother world. Let's take over that. That's when we had Zykov go in and he gets manipulated. If any of you care for Vanguard's story, I get the gameplay was very, very bad. But the story shows Dark Ether entities trying to make their way into our world, while there's also some that are trying to keep our world separate from theirs. And Court Effects was great for the story, but it was very underwhelming when Vanguard ended and Court Effects was just like, that was very sad. Like, there should have been, like, just some care put into Vanguard Zombies ending. They didn't really care. They only cared for Warzone with Caldera coming out. I can't remember the other name of the map from Warzone during Vanguard's era, but I remember Caldera. I loved Caldera, and I think maybe Fortune's Keep was in it. I don't remember if that was later in or not, but as someone that loves Warzone and loves zombies, please keep them separate like you are so far with Black Ops 7. I'm really scared that when Season 1 launches and we get the map after Astra Malorum, I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, Astra Malorum. If we I don't know how to put it. I just feel like if there's less care put into zombies once Warzone comes out, BO7 zombies is gonna die out. And the second that this game's zombies dies out, I think it's clipped for zombies as a whole. Straight up, because of how stale BO6 and parts of Cold War felt. If we get up to such a high right now where we are with this cutscene, and then it just starts going downhill, I don't think we're ever going to be able to pick back up and go forward. And that would be really sad because I am loving where the story is going. I'm loving the game. This is just amazing. I know I'm ranting, but I'm just so unbelievably happy that this game has been going the direction it's going. And I just pray that the second Warzone comes out, that Activision doesn't like tell Treyarch, okay, like we're taking funding from zombies and putting it into Warzone like they did with BO4 and Blackout. Like that really messed up BO4's potential coming off of BO3. And it almost feels like a similar case where they're scared that Warzone is going to die and they're not focusing. And I mean, like, I'm comparing Warzone to Blackout in this case. I'm worried that they're going to feel like Warzone is dying like they were with Blackout back then, and they're going to take funding out of the Zombies team and put it into Warzone to better fuel Warzone. If they do what they did between BO3 and BO4 and they do that with BO7, especially after us being 2 maps in, I know the second map isn't out yet, but us being 2 maps in, if they do that, we're screwed. Zombies is screwed. It's not going to come back in BO8 or whatever, MW4. It's not going to come back. Zombies is just going to be clipped. No one's going to care about it anymore, especially after us being taken to such a high point with this cutscene. If it goes downhill from here, we're done. It's over. I think zombies will legitimately die out if that happens. I'm going to stop ranting now because it's been almost 40 minutes, but I don't know what to say, Treyarch, because I'm so happy with the direction this is going, but I'm also terrified because Ashes has been so good, especially with the relics. Cursed mode has been great. I'm in love with it. I like that it's like a middle between classic and modern zombies. It's a great middle ground that I feel like a lot of people that don't like modern zombies can hopefully get into cursed mode to try and better get into modern zombies. But I love modern zombies. I love classic zombies. I love cursed mode. I'm loving everything. I'm just really, really scared that the start of the game is going to be great. This map's going to be great, and then we're going to have a bunch of maps that are lackluster and not good because Warzone is prioritized. That's my only worry. With that being said, I think I'm going to just end this video here, but I just had to go on a bit of a rant with my Black Ops 7. This is going to be like a bit of a BO7 Zombies review because I'm loving it. The only other con I want to mention that I didn't mention earlier, and maybe I'm just blind, but I don't see the Mr. Peaks augment in this game. And unless they're adding it with Season 1, which I won't complain about, I feel like this game doesn't suffer from not having Mr. Peaks, but it's a downside given we just received it at the end of Reckoning. We didn't get much time to use Mr. Peaks because he was released. I think it was 3 weeks into Reckoning. Mr. Peaks was released, and then we could finally get the Infinite Ether Blade. And that was really bad. That was horrible design, horrible decision. People data mine Mr. Peaks just to get the Ether Blade early. And that should be something that is never a case in Bo7. A map's Easter egg, side egg, or main egg should not be gated behind having a certain augment or field upgrade unlocked. Ammo mod, I'm somewhat fine with, but at the same time, in the case of Shattered Veil, if you were not a high enough level, you couldn't put Brain Rot on your gun. You couldn't do the Easter egg without relying on elemental pop. That's not good. And I'm hoping stuff like that doesn't happen in Bo7. And all I can really say is I'm in love with how this game is going, but and like I said, I'm terrified. But I won't continue ranting. I just need Treyarch to understand we can't, as a community, have this game reach such a high, reach such a peak, and not keep growing or staying at the same level. If it starts going downwards like it did with BO6, I really think it's clipped for zombies as a whole. I think the whole community is just going to die. And that is the last thing I want to see. So, Treyarch, please don't prioritize Warzone over zombies, please, because this trailer and Ashes itself as a map has just felt so good, and I'm loving it. I'm terrified that this game is going to go down the path BO6 went, and they're going to suddenly just stop caring and prioritize Warzone. And that's not even Treyarch's fault, it's Activision's fault. I'm really hoping we're on the same path as BO3 was, where we go map by map. Excuse me for yawning, I'm tired, I didn't go last sleep, but I don't want us to go to a point where we go map to map. Or sorry, I want us to be at a point where we're like BO3. We're going map to map, kind of quote unquote getting our characters' souls back, because that's like what we're doing. And what we did in BO3 was take all the Ultimus characters' souls, put it in the summoning key, blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna get into all of that. This feels the same way where right now we started with Dempsey's soul, kind of like how we did in Horizon Drac, except it started with the giant with Richtofen's soul. This feels like BO3 with the direction we're going. I'm hoping this map is either Nikolai or Takio's soul, and that Richthofen's is more like a Nazi themed map. Not like, I don't want to say that word, but more of like a World War themed map, because that's like his character's from a dimension where Nazis won the World War. Um, I don't know what to say, Treyarch. You did great with this cutscene. You've done great with BO7. Just please don't let it start going downhill. I want to make sure I don't forget anything because I'm loving Ashes, loving the relics. Really, my only complaint besides the ones I made earlier was just please fix the crashing issues. I don't know if it's anywhere else besides Xbox, but I'm getting a ton of dev errors. It just pops up and says system dev error, and then the game crashes. I'll lose. I won't lose the game save. I appreciate Treyarch for giving me the game save, but since I'm going for relics, it will restart the relics. It will restart the in-game relics. So I got all of the Mr. Peak stalls. Was halfway into. I was on wave 2 out of 4. Got a dev error because I opened the crafting table to get a monkey and the game crashed. I went back in, got my game save round 32. All of the relics, all of the dolls were reset, and I didn't have the portal. That's not fair. I wasted 2 hours doing that, and I would have easily finished it, and I did finish it later within an hour and a half. But just, it's really frustrating when the game is this good, and then bugs are holding the game back from being as good as it fully can, because the game feels like it's right there. It's right there. It's grasping at greatness, and then it's just a little bit, just falls a little bit short because of the bugs. And I'm honestly sad that they nerfed the boss on Ashes. They should have just buffed Tessie. I know I mentioned this earlier, but buff Tessie's handling, buff how much health that you get from the health spores. I think they said that they're going to spawn more in. I don't know if they said they're going to buff the health that you get from driving over the green spores, or if it's going to be more just spawn in the boss arena. One of those two things is going to happen. And solo players, you might want to go for this Easter egg on solo over co-op when this patch comes out, because there's going to be no Zursa bear in the boss for solo players. And that's a really big difference, because the bear just gets in the way during the final phase. It's really aggravating if you don't have a psych grenade or something to get rid of it. All I want to say is thank you, Treyarch. Thank you for Bo7. Thank you for it not being like Bo6, even if it looks like Bo6. Just thank you. And please don't stop caring when Warzone comes to this game. Please. Please, I am begging you on my hands and knees. Don't let zombies go down the gutter so soon after us reaching such a peak. Thank you for anyone who has listened this far in, because I'm just ranting about what I love and hate about the games, differences, all that stuff. I'm loving the direction the story is going. As someone who understands the story from, what was it, 750 years before World at War, which is when the Great War started, all the way up to now, where we're in a world that was born from Tag der Toten, and leaves me with the question of, was Primus Nikolai wrong? Did we rebirth the multiverse too when we rebirthed that world? Because the entity is implying that Dempsey, Richtofen, Nikolai, and Takio all came from different dimensions, which we already knew this, but I thought originally that they were going to be versions of them that were banished into the dark ether after the end of Tag der Toten, and I thought it was going to be like, I have a few theories for it. I won't go too into it, but I had theories as to how they would have survived the dark ether so long without being corrupted, like Zykov or even Sam, who got powers from being in the dark ether during Cold War. It just begs a little bit of questioning, because, excuse me for yawning, the entity said that we had our essences, or sorry, the warden pulled us from our individual dimensions because of our essence. That implies that it was after BO4, because the entities didn't know about the ether before BO4, and that implies the multiverse still exists right now. So was Nikolai wrong? Did he only create one dimension without zombies, while also closing off all of the other dimensions? And my question is, are these other worlds where Richtofen, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takio came from, did the Dark Ether also get into those worlds, or is the Dark Ether its own thing in each dimension? I don't think it is. I think the Dark Ether can come across all of our dimensions. It's all like, they just want to take over everything. So I'm just begging the question, Dempsey didn't know about zombies until he went out on the mission with Weaver, and then with Weaver and Strauss, and then was turned into a disciple. Um, and that's how he got the essence that the warden wanted, and that's why the warden pulled him from his dimension. I understand that, but I'm also a bit confused, given Nikolai said the multiverse must come to an end. At least it will be quick, or something like that. And now suddenly it appears the multiverse is just back, because how else can you explain that? There's no other way to explain it. Unless some certain events from, I don't know. I really don't know, because Modern Warfare and Black Ops are in the same universe now. I don't know about Infinite Warfare, even though there is a calling card that has the Infinite Warfare box in it. And there seems to be some references to Willard Wyler in this game. It's a bit questionable, but nothing from EXO or World War II, which I don't want to say that's a good thing, but I think that's a good thing. I don't know what else to say. I'm just gonna stop the video here, because I'm about to go on for 50 minutes, but I hope they give some clarification as to how the multiverse still exists, because Nikolai literally banished all of the dimensions, all of the old multiverse. He banished it into the dark ether. and he gave birth to a new world, but he was it was implied that the multiverse wasn't going to exist anymore. So it just begs the question, how does the multiverse still exist? How? I'm just like, shrug, how does it still exist? No, not 6-7, shrug. How does it exist? If Nikolai and if the Primus and Ultimus crew ended their lives so that the multiverse could be put to an end and that all old links to the ether would be gone, besides Sam and Eddie, both from Dimension 63, who walk into our new world, and that's who we have in BO6 and Cold War. It just begs the question, not only what dimension numbers are these guys from, but how many dimensions are there in this new multiverse? Is it only a few, like handful that were rebirthed? Or is it the case of like, how do I put it? Is it a case of like Origins where that's Dimension 63 and there's Origins, Mob of the Dead, and Shadows of Evil? Is it implied that no, because they're all from different dimensions. It's just a little confusing, that's all. I'm hoping for more clarification either in this map or the next one on how the multiverse still exists, but no one's gonna ask. None of our new crew would ask about that because they don't know about Tagder Toten. So I hope one of these entities or a Shadow Smith, someone brings up the fact that the whole reason the Dark Ether is invading our world is because of the end of Tagder Toten. And I'm just hoping somehow it's explained that on how the multiverse exists, because it does exist. It has to exist for this story to make sense. And as far as our old Ether multiverse went, it was around confirmed dimensions that exist is 2,210. It's not confirmed if there's more than that, but it is confirmed that there is at least 2,200, 2,210. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. 2,210. There we go. It's implied that there's 2,210 different dimensions in the old Ether story. So I'm just wondering, when Nikolai banished all of the old dimensions and rebirthed our world, did he rebirth every single dimension, including our own? Because that would mean dimension. That could imply we live in the new Dimension 63. Or it implies that Dimension 63 has its own versions of Sam and Richtofen. It's just a bit confusing because this Sam and Eddie that we see in BO6 and Cold War are from Dimension 63. So it's really confusing to me right now how we got from the point of there being no multiverse in Cold War to now we're suddenly in Black Ops 6 and then Chaos is canon and the Sentinel artifact is appearing. And then we get to BO7 and now we have a version of our old crew. All of them are from different dimensions. I'm loving it, but I'm just a little bit confused, and this is from someone that understands all the complexities of the story. I'm a little bit confused as to how the multiverse is currently existing, and I'm hoping that Treyarch in some way explains how the end of BO4 rebirthed the entire multiverse. Because it rebirthed MW's universe. So it not only rebirthed MW's universe, but it combined it with our own. So I wonder if some dimensions combined, there just has to be some sort of explanation. Because there, excuse me, there's definitely with Farm. Farm is a clear representation of the Dark Ether mutating something over a set of years. Transit itself, um, the farm area, the farmhouse, and the shed, they swap places because of being mutated in the Dark Ether and shifting around. They shifted over in spots. If you pull up BO2, stand in front of the barn, and look where the house is, you'll see the shack that currently has the box in it. That shack and farm in BO2 held either the ladder or the front of the bus piece. It held a part for you to open up with a turbine. It had that little area. And those two the shed and the, I'm sorry for being part, the shed and the farmhouse moved spots. They flipped spots. And That's from it mutating in the Dark Ether, and I enjoy that. I love that. And something major I want to say that I love is originally in Cold War and D Machine, you hear whispers of people begging for help above the particle accelerator, and people were theorizing that's whispers from the Dark Ether. Maybe it's Victus. And what I love is we finally partially figured out what happened to Victus. If you listen to a bunch of the radios around the map, you'll hear Misty and Samuel. I don't know if you hear Rustman or Marlton. I know Marlton is mentioned in one of the radios, but they all have different names. So I'm wondering, is that like the mutated Dark Ether versions of themselves? And for whatever reason, maybe because they're like a I don't know, because like when Sam was in the Dark Ether, she managed to not die and gain powers. And that's probably because of the fact she came from the past Ether story. So she has some sort of resistance to it. I'm wondering if Victus has the same thing, and maybe they've only lost their memories, and they're just new people that live in the Dark Ether, just casually. But this is a video for another time where I go into theories about Bo7 and talk about the story. Anyway, I'm sorry I've dragged this video on for almost an hour. It's supposed to be a 5-minute reaction to a cutscene, but this cutscene really just made me realize how much better this game is than Bo6, and I have to thank Treyarch for the direction the story is going, because it feels like they're genuinely caring again. I just, again, really hope they address the fact of the multiverse existing. That's it, really. I'm loving this cutscene. How do we say the map name? Astra Malorum? Astra Malorum is just peak. And like people say down here, I haven't played campaign, but like, what is this? You know, I'm not gonna spoil a campaign for anyone. Like, but I've seen the clips. I've seen the clips going around Instagram. I only played the first mission of BO7 and BO6's campaign. I couldn't be bothered to make it through. And this is from someone that wants to play the BO6 campaign to see if it has any relevance to the zombie story, because now they both are in the same storyline, which again, you shouldn't have to play zombies or campaign to understand the other game mode. That's one downside I don't like about them combining the universes. And one last thing I'll mention, given I'm talking about the combined universes, it has been such a missed opportunity that Price and Ghost haven't met, or sorry, not Price and Ghost. Price and Woods haven't met, Mason and Ghost haven't met, Soap, and prior to Soap's death, of course, Soap and anyone else haven't met, like even Harper. Like, it just, I don't know, it just feels like such a missed opportunity to have these stories in the same dimension going on at the same time and not have them meet besides Ravenov and Soap. It just feels like a missed opportunity. That's what it feels like. And not that I suddenly want Price and Soap and Gaz and Ghost to all have like major influences on the story for zombies or the story for campaign. I just wish they were mentioned in some way, just mentioned. Imply that they're still around and doing stuff. What are they doing between MW3 and MW4? I'm just little disappointed on that, because I was really excited for that when MW 2019 came out and it was revealed that they were in the same universe. I was very excited to see the implications in MW2 and MW3. We got nothing. BO6 Cold War got nothing. I don't want to say we got nothing for MW3 though, because we did get MWZ with Soap and Ravenov. But my whole point being, this is going in the right direction. This is going in the direction I wanted to. I'm loving it, but they need to make some minor tweaks for it to be perfect. That's it. And I don't know what else to really say. I gotta make a video on the storyline and my theories and all that. But yeah, this is my long rant and my reaction to the Astra Malorum intro cinematic and my long rant on BO7, just really blowing my mind, really blowing me out of the water with just how much better it is in BO6 and how much care has been put in, especially with this intro cinematic, Ashes, Ash's mid game cutscene, Ash's end game cutscene, and they already said every map is gonna have a mid and end game cutscene no matter what. It's just as long as the intro cinematics are on this level, because they heard our feedback from Ashes saying Ash's cutscene was good, but it was lacking music. This intro cutscene, they gave us amazing music. Kickstart my heart, and they literally kickstarted my heart with this trailer. But I'm gonna end the video there. It's just thank you, Treyarch. I don't know what else to say. I'm in love. I'm so happy. Thank you guys, and thank you anyone who's stayed even for this much of the video.